Hello everybody, my name is Dave Rayburn. You may know me as a singer-songwriter, musician in the Southern California area. I'm here to tell you about a very special Kickstarter program that's happening right now, so if you give me about 10 minutes of your time, hopefully I can narrow it down and give you all the details. Just a few months ago we lost our dear friend Stephen Ledesma, also known as Stephen Desmond on stage. Member of many great bands, the Combies, Tombstone Shadow, the Tone Smugglers, Stem, many others. He was a fixture on the Long Beach music scene for quite a long time. Steve had been making music in one way or another for over 4 decades. And we lost him, like I said, just a few months ago, and a lot of us are feeling a gap in our lives right now. He was a very warm-hearted guy, a very giving individual, very talented man, the man of 1,000 songs. You could see him on any given night playing to smiling people that he was obviously pleasing. He could handle most requests. He could feel out a crowd. He could make people laugh. He did it all, you know. And on top of the fact that he knew all these great songs, thousands of songs, he had a great catalog of his own music as well. But what happened was, right after he passed away, within that week, I sat down and wrote a song. This song that's playing in the background here, called Brand New Blue. I wrote it for Stephen within about 4 or 5 days, had it recorded, and made that available online. And all proceeds from that were going directly to the Stephen Ledesma Memorial Fund, which is to help the family recover some costs of his funeral expenses and whatnot. But I put the song out there and got good response to it, and found that within the first few weeks after Steve's passing that there had been no less than 3 songs written for him, you know. And I thought, I kind of half-jokingly thought, well, maybe we could put together a tribute album for him. But then the more I thought about that, the more realistic it sounded, because he was surrounded by musicians and people that made music, so there's a good chance that people could write some songs for him. And I pursued the idea. I contacted Steve's daughter, Olivia. She was very thrilled to hear about this and gave me her blessing to proceed. So that's what I've decided to do. Bueno Bye, a tribute to Stephen Desmond, is the CD and DVD package I'm looking to put together using Kickstarter. Now, if you're not familiar with Kickstarter, it's a way for people to, what they call crowdsource, to fund something, to make, you know, this isn't going to be free. To actually make a package, a gatefold sleeve that has a CD with printed art and a DVD with printed art, all that stuff, and then to get it mailed out to everybody, that's not free. So there's a lot of expenses involved here. But I thought there should be something, a keepsake that everyone could have, aside from the online digital memorial of his page and photos that people have, to have something that you can put in and listen to and watch on your TV, you know. I thought it'd be really special to have something that summed it up and also gave us a chance to tip our hat to the man. So that's what I'm doing, a CD-DVD package, and I'm using Kickstarter to help ask you guys to help fund it, to make it happen. Now, obviously, I want to make one thing really clear. This is not a profit business at all. I have researched pricing on everything involved in this, and I just want the minimum pressing to be reached, to be realized financially. And obviously we're not going to take a loss on anything, but every penny over the actual cost of the goods that I'll be describing, all that extra money will go towards the Stephen Ledesma Memorial Fund. So everything is going to be in the name of Steve, in his honor, and to help his family, and to also get some nice things in your hands before Christmas, because that's my goal here, is to have this package delivered to you before Christmas 2014. So that way a little bit of Steve's music and Steve's memory can warm our hearts around the holidays, which is one of his favorite holidays. So I'm starting this Kickstarter program here October 1st. It's going to run through the entire month of October and end at midnight on Halloween, October 31st, with like I said, a mid-December release date in mind. Our goal to make this happen, and it's a CD-DVD package in a gatefold cover, minimum pressing is 100 pieces. So that means I got to sell 100 of these just to make sure that I can order them and have it all paid for. So the cost involved with that, with the packaging, with the shipping, manufacturing, all that stuff, as well as some of the bonus items I'm going to be talking about, comes to $1,250. Now, it may seem like a lot, but I've successfully funded a Kickstarter program here 2 years ago where I had a couple CDs and a vinyl piece made up for a similar price, and it was successfully funded within 30 days. And I think with social media and people sharing the links, and people are definitely going to want to have these things. If they knew Steve, they're going to want to have this. It's a great keepsake to have, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But 100 pieces is our minimum, and we can order as many beyond that as possible, as needed. But we have to hit that minimum, or else they can't accept an order from me. So we have to hit that. So with that in mind, $1,250 is our goal price, and we've come up with a bunch of different pledge levels to where you can contribute on different financial levels to help make it happen. And it's all going to go towards the actual cost, actual expenses, and like I said, anything that goes over that amount is going to go directly back to Stephen's family to help recover funeral expenses from his unexpected passing. So let me tell you a little bit about what's going on, what the package is going to be. The CD, it's going to be a 50-50 mix of music. Half of it's going to be tribute tracks recorded by and written by friends and family of Steve's. I've already got several tracks, probably about 5 or 6 tracks in hand now. I've got about 5 or 6 more coming in, so that's going to put us somewhere between 10 to 12 tribute tracks. But then I thought, I got to fill out this CD. Let's just max it out. I thought, let's just go through the back catalog then and see if we can find some of Steve's greatest hits, like this one, Little Desmond Lane, the title track off his 1997 CD. Let's put some of his greatest hits on there. Let's find some rarities and put on there, stuff people have never heard. And let's just fill this thing out with some nice Stephen music to round out the disc, so it'll be a nice 50-50 mix. That's my goal. And I've been feverishly working on gathering tracks, because I've had some things myself. I've had a couple CDs, but then I've reached out to friends and family, and I've managed to come across a lot of stuff that I'm really surprised we've got. We've got home demos, recordings that people have never heard before, unreleased songs. We've got stuff that's been out on very limited run CDs and CDRs that he's made over time, because he's been making music for over 40 years. I've got managed to track this down, Steve's 1980 vinyl record album, Nothing to Lose, All to Gain. And we've had that transferred digitally and mastered, and it sounds fantastic. So I'm going to definitely include a track from that too. But I've got like home demos from when he was just, a young whippersnapper, I've got something going back to 1973 and stuff going all the way up to this year, 2014. So I've got well over, I got to say, I've got well over 150 tracks of Steve's to choose from alone. And so I'm doing my best to pick the creme de la creme, pick the hits, the favorite tracks, to pick stuff that his songwriting genius really shines through on. Stuff that's got catchy melodies, stuff that people have never heard before, a little bit of everything. So I'm very pleased with what I've gathered and reduced it down to so far. And of course, I'm waiting for more tracks to show up from artists that are contributing songs. But then, if any other rarities show up too, I'm going to consider that. So we've got some solid stuff here. I'm very, very excited. Some of the stuff brings me to tears. It's so good. And I'm very, very excited to get this out, and I think you guys will be excited to have it. That's the CD. Now the DVD is going to be about 2 hours worth of material, which I'm gathering from a variety of sources, including Steve's YouTube channel, where he was making videos of some of his songs, and then also posting live clips of himself. I'm going to grab some of the best of that, and some of his little skits too, because he had a great sense of humor. We're going to have a little bit of that. We're going to have a video slideshow. It's going to show stuff, you probably saw, if you went to his service, maybe you saw some of the frames of pictures of his lifetime. We're going to have a bunch of that, a bunch of shots that people haven't seen before too, which is going to be great. But the heart of this is going to be a lot of video footage that's never been seen before. Stuff that that goes back to to 1995, where I got this Long Drive Home DVD that was lent to me, where he and Eric had this little duo, and they played at Mother Mudd's back in late 95. I've got some videos on 8mm digital video that I shot back in the early 2000s, or between 2001 2003, where we had a residency playing at the Liquid Lounge in Long Beach, and Steve was part of the songwriting coalition called the Perpetual Intermittent Tour, which I was part of, and that's around the time when I first met him, close to 15 years ago. And so I've got some full sets of music of his going way back. So I'm going to be picking from that. Primarily, I'm going to focus on his original music, because even though he was a man of 1,000 songs, his music was a little more special to me than the covers. Although we're going to include a few of those on the video too, on the DVD. But it's going to be 2 hours worth of magical stuff, a lot of stuff you haven't seen before, and it's going to be a great way to see him interacting with people, and his humor, and his seriousness, and his musical magic, you know, that he put on night after night. But the absolute highlight for me on this DVD is going to be some clips from just 3 years ago, 2011, at Kulak's Woodshed in Hollywood, which, if you guys are familiar with it, it's a place that does a live webcast online. It's a little studio room. It looks like somebody's 70s garage, all decked out, but it's actually a video studio. They've got a 6-camera multi-camera shoot that they put on, and it goes out live on the internet, soundboard recording and everything. And I managed to snag one of the sets of his music from there, where he did 2 or 3 songs. And there's one more set. I dragged him out there twice. Now, if you can imagine, traveling is not the greatest thing in the world, you know, for a musician. They do it all the time. So if you can imagine me telling Steve, hey, come on out to Hollywood with me. You can play 2 songs and you don't get paid. What do you think? Well, I told him he could get a DVD of his performances. You know, he could chip in to do that. And so he was game for it. And we went out on a couple different occasions and managed to make that happen. One of the DVDs is missing. He never got it. It went missing somehow, but I've been in touch with the great folks over at Kulak's Woodshed. They're going through the digital archives, and they're trying to find this missing set, I believe, of 3 songs that he played the last time he played there in late 2011. But I have recovered, and Paul Kulak has provided for me a 2-song set that he did the first time we went there. And he does original music, which is fantastic, and it looks great, it sounds great, and it's just awesome because it's professionally shot with the moving cameras. It's like you're on the Tonight Show. So we've got that on there. So I'm glad that there's not only bootleg footage and stuff, but we got something that's like professionally shot that went out live on the internet that a few people may have seen, but nobody has it. So I've got that, and I'm hoping to get the other set to highlight the disc as well. But in any case, I've got stuff going back from 95 up till 2014, where I even shot footage of him playing some Smiths covers and Morrissey covers at the El Dorado in Long Beach back in March of this year. Got all kinds of great stuff. Steve was just a fantastic guy, and I think the CD-DVD tribute is going to be something that he would have been proud to know was being made. And I know you guys are going to love it. So some great music. This track here in the background, this is off the 1980 LP. This will be included on the CD as well. So you're going to hear a lot of different musical styles, just a lot of different stuff. I'm really, really excited. The unreleased stuff is fantastic, and I think that's going to be the highlight for a lot of people, is to hear stuff they've never heard before. Anyway, let me get to some of the bonus things before this thing runs way too long. I'm already at close to 15 minutes now. Some of the incentives we're going to have, we're doing on Kickstarter, we have different pledge levels for different monetary amounts, so that way you can donate comfortably on different levels. We're going to have and I'll be posting pictures of these things on the Kickstarter page and on Facebook throughout the month of October as this thing's going on, so you can see what is available. But I'll be doing some I'm gonna have some special guitar picks made up with an illustration of Steve on it. Some of you may have seen the illustration before, but I got permission to use it. We're gonna get some guitar picks made up we're going to get some little bottle cap charms made up, which is kind of like a sort of a flattened bottle cap with an image of Steve in there with a little clasp, so you could put it on whether like a backpack zipper or on your purse or on your keychain, or it could be a Christmas ornament. Christmas coming, so a little crafty thing like that. We got the picks. We got we got shirts left over from. I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not, but I talked Steve into performing a 2001 benefit following the 9/11 disasters, where we raised money for the American Red Cross. Steve gladly performed that day. It was 2 months to the day after the attacks. He donated the song Ledesma Lane to the compilation CD that I had made that we sold at the show to raise money. We also made these shirts, which has the embroidered Remember 9/11/2001, and the backside actually has the graphic design of the that I made up for the show. Buddies for America took place on November 11th, 2001. Concert to benefit the Liberty Disaster Fund, which was the Red Cross fund following 9/11. We made a lot of these shirts up, and I've got a good amount left over in various sizes, from small, medium, large to extra large. We're going to be making some of these available. Really, not many of these got out there, and I think since Steve played this thing, it'd be kind of nice to include this as a part of the different tiers that we're offering for pledges. So we're going to have these t-shirts, we're going to have the bottle cap charms, we're going to have guitar picks. We're also going to have a very special digital bonus LP, which I haven't compiled yet, but it's going to be quite easy to do because I got plenty to work with. It's going to be about 20 to 24 tracks of Steve's alone that did not make the tribute CD. And this is just going to be the I don't want to call them leftovers because it's fantastic stuff, but I'm going to call this set The Ones That Got Away. So it's a whole bonus album of outtakes. Outtakes, I'm using that term loosely. They may be demos and unreleased things. There may be some live recordings, but there's also going to be songs from other releases that, the Ledesma Lane album alone has so many great songs on there. I'm using a couple on the tribute CD, but I can't put all of them on there, so I may pick another one or two from this and throw on there. The thing is, not a lot of people have his stuff. It was very limited. World Without Rain was made on CDR only, like this, and then available on iTunes. So this is the physical package. If you're able to get one from him, you may have this. But if not, where are you going to find it? I don't know. Ledesma Lane, same thing. And certainly the 1980 LP. This was really expensive. I found this a week after Steve passed, and I paid a lot of money for it, but I figured I'd never find this again. And I only found out that it was in existence like a couple months ago when he posted a picture of it on Facebook. So searching out his catalog, his discography, has been a little bit of a learning experience, and I've really enjoyed everything I found along the way. A lot of the tracks that have been donated to me from various collections to put this thing together. I'm definitely grateful to all the people I've been talking with, all of the friends and family of Steve's, people that go way, way back with him, and they're being represented on the CD. This song here in the background, Tommy Boy, was obviously written for Steve's best buddy. He's going to be putting a track on the tribute CD as well. The Tommy Boy track's going to be on there. And here's the title track of the tribute, so I should probably wrap this up right about now, coming up on 20 minutes here. Thanks for tuning in. Again, all the expenses, that's all we're looking to pay for here, to get the minimum run of 100 CD and DVD packages. We can go higher than that. They'll make more for us, but we have to make 100 minimum, and all these costs are going to come to about $1,250, $1,250. So we've set up all these different tiers. Donate on the level that's appropriate and comfortable for you. Get yourself a little keepsake of Stevens, and keep him around and play that music forever. Thank you for listening. Thanks for supporting. Thank you for supporting Stephen as long as you have, because that guy was doing it for a living, and we all went out to see him a lot, and I'm glad we were able to make that happen for him, and he could live that life as the troubadour. And I hope you enjoy the songs that are going to be on the CD, both of Stevens from his catalog and those that are being contributed currently. We got a lot of great footage on the DVD. It's just going to be a wonderful package. So please log in, look it up, research Kickstarter, find out what it's all about, get your account set up, look at all the different tiers, make your pledge, and follow the updates. I'll be updating regularly through October, and like I said, every penny over our actual expenses will go towards the Stephen Ledesma Memorial Fund to help the family recover funeral expenses. So it's completely nonprofit. Get yourself some really cool keepsakes here, and then help the family out as well. It's all for the greater good. That's all for Steve. So again, thanks for tuning in. I'm Dave Rayburn. Stay tuned on Kickstarter and on Facebook for updates through the month of October. Let's make this happen, peeps. All right, take care.